Well, today we're starting our month-long series called Transportation Tuesdays. Right now, with the Valley's relative lack of public transportation, the best way and pretty much the only way to get around efficiently and safely is by car. But that's an expensive option for some and not an option at all for others. Here's our Justin Core.
The big red triangle is the battery light. That's the, oh no.
This is Idaho native Felicia Barlow. She's a single mom who lives in Kuna, and like most people in the valley, to get anywhere, she relies on her car.
For everything, absolutely everything.
But her car, named Ruby, has almost 300,000 miles on her, and sometimes just doesn't feel like going anywhere.
She definitely still has a lot of dash lights on, because not everything is fixed. I actually just got it back from the shop last night, but about every 6 months, she's back in the shop.
Luckily, she works from home, but Felicia is isolated when her car is in the shop.
How were you getting around without it?
I wasn't. I had to use things like Instacart to bring groceries to the house. I do have to go into the office if my internet goes down or anything like that. So that's always scary if my car isn't reliable and I can't get in when I need to, then I get in trouble at work.
If she lived in Boise or parts of Meridian, she could potentially try to take the bus, but she lives in Kuna. And while there are ACHD commuter ride options, that's not as practical for errands, and she would still have to get to the commuter ride pickup spot.
Those of us that can't afford to live in the cities or don't want to live in the craziness of the city are getting pushed out by the growth that's happening down there for businesses and commercial properties. We're moving outskirts, and there's just not easy access.
Felicia is not alone. Throughout the Treasure Valley, maybe a third of people even have a bus stop near their home. Other public transportation options like a commuter train are in the plans, but still far from a reality. And with so little public transportation even available, it probably shouldn't be a surprise that so few Idahoans use it to commute. The latest stats from the U.S. Department of Transportation show that less than 1% of Idahoans take public transit to work. That's 0.8%. That's behind two of our neighboring states, Oregon and Utah, and well behind the national average of almost 5%. So how do we get to work? 4 out of every 5 Idahoans drive to work alone. 9% of Idahoans do carpool, but that's the only other notable way people commute besides just not bothering and working from home. And the rate of Idahoans driving to work alone is above the national and Utah averages and well above the Oregon average. As you might expect, that puts more stress on our roads and drivers who get stuck in daily rush hour traffic. It's also just sometimes not an option for folks like Felicia, who says she would absolutely use the bus or train right now if it was available, and she has filled out every survey she could, letting local agencies know that.
I'm so sick of filling out these surveys and seeing literally nothing happen. I have filled these out for 15 years now, and we still have the same bus system.
A bus system Felicia actually likes, but needs to see expanded. That's something local transportation leaders are talking about, along with commuter rail, but Felicia says she's heard people talk about this before.
I liked hearing it 10 years ago. Now I'm ready to see it.
And for folks who do have the bus as an option, how would that compare to driving alone to work? Justin will be back next week on Wake Up Idaho with another Transportation Tuesday. We'll be right back.